Hey guys, it's Lacey. As some of you know, I've been doing this thing on Twitter called My Star Wars Collection 366. So how it works is every day for the next year, I'm going to post one thing from my Star Wars collection. I thought it was just a really fun way to have fun throughout the year while also celebrating my love for Star Wars and all the stuff that I've collected over the years. And trust me, there's a lot. I don't know if there's 366, but I guess we'll find out. So, John from the Resistance broadcast, obviously, had a really good idea of like compiling everything each week of what I highlighted. So that if you missed things during the week, you can come at the end of the week and check in and see what I talked about. And I figured I could maybe go in a little more detail because I'm kind of constricted to a certain time limit on Twitter. So the first item that I chose from my collection for day one was this framed piece of history for Star Wars. So they're actually pieces of film from the movie that have, you can actually see through the back. It's kind of cool so that you can see the light will capture it. But from all three movies of the original trilogy, A New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. So it's just something, I got it as a gift. It's super, super cool. I grew up on the original trilogy, so it means a lot, and to know that I'm holding a piece of history is super cool. So this was day one. Yes, day one. All right. Day two was one of my favorite things ever. If you guys watch the podcast, you know that I am a huge fan of Admiral Ackbar. And this guy right here, this guy I got from an estate sale in New Jersey, and he is just so funny. He's like a Barbie doll, but Ackbar, which I think this came out in the 90s. I don't know that much history about it, but it's just so funny. And I used to do this like bit during the podcast, as you guys know, where I'd be like, it's a podcast, you know, it's a Patreon, that type of thing. So yeah, he's just super funny. When I worked for Star Wars Celebration, I did this whole thing. It was 2015 Anaheim, and I used him as a kind of like a little bit of a social media campaign. So if anybody was following their social during 2015, you probably saw him being like, it's a line, it's a panel, stuff like that. Because I'm cheesy, and that's how I roll. So, but yeah, he's just so funny. John always jokes that he's gonna like take him and kill him somehow, even though he's basically a Barbie. But I don't know, he's just like one of my favorite pieces that's just so silly, you know? And Star Wars is fun because it tends to be a little silly. We're talking about like a guy that's a squid. Usually he sits right here. He usually sits right there during the podcast. So now you know when you're looking for him, Ackbar's right there. Day three. Day three was my Kylo Ren FX lightsaber. You guys saw me geek out a little bit about how it turns on, because it's the best part of the whole thing is how it turns on. It's just so satisfying. Just, yeah. It's super cool. When it hits things, it makes noises. More than that, the hilt itself is like super duper heavy. So oftentimes when you see me joking around, it's with Rey's saber, which when I bought it was Luke's saber, the blue one, because it's much lighter. It's easier to carry around. This one's super heavy. I see people at Comic-Cons and stuff carrying these around. I don't know how you do it. It's like, it's got some weight to it, but it's got really cool details. How he has the wire running up the side, and it's spray painted black because Kylo Ren's so dark and moody compared to Ben Solo's, who's his silver. But yeah, it's just one of those really cool things I had to have when it came out. I don't use it that often, but when I do, it's pretty cool. I try to not break anything with it because it's so heavy. It just fall over and break things. All right. Day four day 4 this week was this guy. So this is a little sock Chewie. A piece of Celebration merch. He was just super cute. I had to have him. He has this little bag, little bandolier type. And it's just it's Chewie. It's cute. I also just like the face, like how cool the face is. He's just like, super cute. And then last but not least, so for day 5, I did another piece of Celebration merch, which I'm going to be very careful with because it's pretty fragile. Makes me nervous just holding it, actually. Is this Salacious Crumb clock. So this is another piece of Celebration merch. I said it on Twitter and I'll say it again. Don't sleep on Star Wars Celebration merch. They go out of their way to do funny, creative stuff. I think 2015 was the year they had a Ackbar sushi set. I wish I ate sushi more. I totally would have gotten it, but I don't. But it had on the, this isn't obviously what I'm talking about, but it had on the mat, it's a wrap. It's just funny. But this is one of those things that was super cute that I had to have. It's a clock. It's got the tail. The eyes move with the tail. It's just super funny. And it's a legit clock. It works. I'm super careful with it because So yeah, that's the first week of my Star Wars collection, 366. Fun fact, this year is 366 days instead of 65 days. So I guess we'll just kind of see how it goes. I'm hoping to keep up with it. I think I can. I'm pretty determined, but I definitely want to see your stuff online as well. You can hashtag my SW collection 366. That's the hashtag I'm using every day. I've already seen some people join in, which is super cool. I love seeing Star Wars merch. I go to flea markets, I go to Comic-Cons, toy stores, you name it. The first thing I look for is Star Wars merch. So I definitely want to see yours. Let me know which thing you think is the coolest or what's your favorite piece of your collection in the comment section below. And then as always, make sure to head over to StarWarsNewsNet.com for your news, reviews, editorials, and more for Star Wars. The movie's over, unfortunately. The lead up was definitely super fun, but there is more Star Wars coming, so make sure to head over to there. And then as always, you can find me on the podcast every Monday and Thursday. You can follow us at RBATSWNN. And then I want to thank our patrons on Patreon. If you want to support us outside of just watching these videos and commenting and subscribing and liking and following and what have you, you can head over there at patreon.com/resistancebroadcast. Starting at $2 a month and up, it just really supports us and lets us do really cool stuff. I want to give a shout out to all the generals. I can't name you all off the top of my head, but thank you guys so much. It really means a lot. And then, as always, you can find me on Twitter and keep track of my daily progression through this collection at Lacey Gilleran. So until next time, I hope you have the best time collecting yourself, and may the Force be with you.